So unfortunately, Rishi couldn't be here. He had to send his apologies.
Again?
But he did send a PDF, a very detailed PDF.
Yeah. I did see that. Yeah. Oh, look at this with hand drawings.
Yeah, it's
in
lengthy. Yeah, so.
Oh, now I know where the preset button is. Thanks,
it's like
Rishi.
he's here. He's here in spirit.
Welcome back, DPReview TV viewers. Chris Nichols here, and I'm joined by Senior Editor at DPReview, Barney Britton.
Hello.
Barney, we're out here in New Jersey, hey? What are we looking at?
Well, there's two new lenses from Sony. There's the one you're holding there, the 200 to 600 millimeter for sort of enthusiasts, wildlife, sport, photography, that kind of thing. And then the 600 millimeter F4 for very rich enthusiasts or professionals.
Absolutely. These are very exciting lenses. So we're out here right now. We're going to shoot some soccer. Okay, so the deal is for the first half of the game, I'm going to use the 200 to 600. You're going to use the 600 F4.
Yep.
Okay. I can already tell just from some of the preliminary shots, I think the versatility of the zoom is going to really be nice.
Yeah, I think you've got the right lens for this first half, but we'll switch at half time.
Okay.
See how we go.
I'll give us an even playing field. Okay, so first thing I want to get out of the way, I apologize for the loud music. I mean, it's a sports arena, what can we do, right? I also want to apologize for the fact that we're forced to wear these red ribbons, but we are. But I still have my tan pants. They're still here. I brought those.
They'll never change you.
Okay, so one thing I will say here, I am like in the 200 to 500 range, being able to change my frame. However, even at 6.3, in this kind of light level, I'm still shooting like 800th of a second, trying to get 1,000th of a second, and I have to get my ISO to 1600 or 2000. In some cases, if I'm shooting to the peripheries of the pitch, where I'm not getting as much natural light, I'm getting up to 4,000 ISO. So that's where I think Barney's probably doing pretty good with that F4 aperture. I've got my collar reefed down here, and I can still very easily rotate the lens in it. Does yours lock pretty good there? Locks nice and solid, right? Yeah, this is reefed down all the way. I could still easily turn it.
That's what the extra $11,000 buys you.
I mean, that's worth it right there. So it's halftime. We got to get back out there really soon. I know Barney wants this 200 to 600. I really don't want to give it up. I'm going to focus on different things with the 600. I'm going to give it 110%. And full disclosure, this is a G&T.
This is a very light 600 millimeter lens, but after 45 minutes, even a very light 600 millimeter lens is still very heavy. So I'm very happy to put this down and give it to Chris for the second half.
Show me yours, and then I'll put this on.
Show you mine. There we go. All right, you hold that.
Okay, I got this.
With that 600 millimeters, it was so tight. It's just not good enough to shoot that way. Well, this is making life a lot easier.
Focus, of course, incredibly fast. Having the faster aperture is helping, but definitely, even just having that F4 from 6.3, so far so good. See, yesterday was such a whirlwind. We shot the soccer game, but we didn't get much time to actually talk about the lenses. So let's just sit down and have a few words. First off, I do have the 600mm F4 GM lens. Now, as you can see, it's physically large, absolutely. It's actually very similar in dimension to the 400mm 2.8 G Master that we've already reviewed. And if you compare this to a Canon 600mm version 3, this is something like 10 grams lighter. I mean, we're all kind of basically in that same ballpark for size, weight, and bulk. And of course, being a G Master, this is a fully weather-sealed lens. And on that same weight and size token, what they've done is actually reduced a lot of the weight up front, like many of the high-end telephotos in today's market, to push the weight a little bit further back. So it's not impossible to handhold, but I'm still going to monopod it, I mean, honestly. Now, another interesting thing, too, is that the control panel and the rings, the zoom rings, the focusing, everything like that, is actually in an identical position and size to the 400mm 2.8 G Master. So the idea being that you can pick up either lens and the tactile response, the memory, the muscle memory, it's all identical between the two lenses. So here you can see the comparative size between 200 to 600 and the 600mm f4. Definitely smaller and lighter, although I still needed the monopod to handhold this for long periods, but I think a lot of enthusiasts will enjoy carrying this around a little bit more. They are both weather sealed. You know, this is also a nice rugged body. It is a little bit shorter, and we've got the hood stopping here. An interesting thing with the 200 to 600, there's no extension as you're focusing this lens or zooming this lens, so you don't have to worry about it changing in size at all. The other thing that I would say about this, although the motors in here are weaker, they're still a linear drive, and the lens elements are lighter too. So effectively, my hit rate doing the soccer, I didn't really notice much difference. I was actually getting really good results with the 200 to 600. This does have more powerful dual XD linear motors, but it also has to drive larger elements. And this is absolutely faster focusing, but in successful hit rate, I still found the 200 to 600 did a great job.
Go mirrorless, they said. Small and light, they said.
Okay, so out here today, you can see we've got a lot of distance, but we also have a lot of haze and a lot of heat, so it's not ideal for long distance res tests. However, I did find an electrical box and just did some impromptu stuff. But you know what I can find here from the images, certainly the 600mm f4, it's sharp wide open. Even to the corners, very, very good. Stopping down is a minor improvement, and that's really one of the benefits of a lens at this price point. You can shoot this at any aperture you want and be sure you're gonna get corner to corner sharpness. The 200 to 600 is also decently sharp. Wide open though, you are gonna see the corners start to go a little bit. Centers are decent. So this is a lens where we're not getting as much light gathering as the 600 f4, and you might want to stop it down to get results that are similar corner to corner. We had teleconverter access, so the 1.4 and the 2 times. At least on the A9, you can still get autofocusing with the 200 to 600 and a 1.4 teleconverter. And with, of course, the 600 f4, you can go 1.4 or 2 times and the camera will focus beautifully. However, we do have optimal conditions out here today, and it's doing a great job when you need that extra 1200mm reach or so. But last night in the arena, when it started to get pretty dark, I was finding even without the converters, if it gets pretty low light, both lenses struggle, the 200 to 600 even more so. And so throwing converters on there, I'm absolutely sure would have caused issues. I didn't want to use it because it was already getting pretty dark as it is. And frankly, in the soccer arena, I didn't want anything more than 600. It was often too long.
Jordan here to talk about using these new lenses for video, and both of them, if you're using autofocus, are going to give you nice smooth focus transitions from one subject to another, but they both share a real limitation, and that is the focus by wire lens on both of these. Now I'm sure that comes down to the type of autofocus motor that they're using, but at the very least a digital distance scale like the ones that Canon use or on the Zeiss Batis would be really useful. When I was shooting at the game, I saw a whole bunch of Sony FS7 cameras all around the field with Canon lenses attached to them, not Sony lenses, and I think that focus ring is the biggest reason for that. If you've got a mechanically coupled lens, it's really easy to pull focus smoothly and consistently. Professionals want that, and it is a letdown, especially on the $13,000 600mm f4.
Okay, Barney, well that pretty much does it for our time here in New Jersey. As for this competition, what do you think we should do?
I think we should open up to the DPReview readers.
Okay.
Because we know how much they enjoy my photography.
They're very kind to me.
The best way of doing it is do a poll, see who they think took the best shots.
Perfect. I can't wait. How do you feel about these lenses overall? Hey, I mean, I think it's safe to say that Sony has absolutely fully fleshed out their full frame telephoto range.
They're getting there, yeah. These are two lenses that they absolutely had to make, I think, for slightly different constituencies. I mean, this 600mm f4, it's a birding lens, it's a perfect lens for some kind of sport. They really needed it in their range.
Yep.
And then the 200 to 600,
That's an enthusiast wildlife photographer's dream lens.
I think this would be a very popular lens. It's sharp
beautiful.
enough. Focus is fairly quick, right? Considering the price point. The only thing that it kind of makes me think of is, where's the 100 to 400 going to fit? I think it's more affordable.
Effectively, this is, I mean, to be fair, we haven't looked at the pictures close up yet.
True.
Assuming optically it holds up, which it looks like it will, this will probably be a better purchase than the 100 to 400.
Other options would be using something like a Sigma 150 to 600 or
Yeah.
a Tamron 150 to 600 with an adapter. So of course this gets rid of the adapter. It is more expensive, but you're getting amazing autofocus. I think this would be really good.
You are, and on a camera like the A9, it's going to give you much faster performance than some of those third-party competitors through adapters, just inevitably. And as for who these lenses are for, I mean, if you're an enthusiast sports wildlife photographer, that's the one to get, the 200 to 600 mil. It's not the fastest lens in the world, but it's actually, that was impressive even in relatively poor light last night.
Absolutely. And if you're a person who wants a 600 millimeter lens, you know who you are, and now we have an excellent one.
And even if a lot of people don't end up going out and actually buying this with their own money, it's available to rent. As Sony starts to speak to its more professional constituency, which it's getting there, this is one of the most important lenses in that range for professional sports photographers.
All right, thank you so much for joining us out here in New Jersey, and thanks to Barney for joining us on this very early look at these two new lenses. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget, subscribe to our Instagram and our Twitter feed. Go to the channel, check out all the information. Otherwise, subscribe, and don't forget to join us very soon for more.